Welcome again, fellow druids. I'm gonna talk today about a little meta speculation, actually. And this one I'm gonna sort of talk about heavy infantry, and we're gonna speculate about this, and we may not dive too deeply into solutioning just yet, mostly because I haven't gotten to a point where I'm actually. I've actually worked out a lot of solutions. I like to play into things with the lists I'm currently using. See if I'm able to sort of weather the storm but we'll get to that as I go on. So what I want to talk about is if you start looking out at the game and you've been following the CID, and this is kind of going to be my episode where I kind of talk about what's been in CID thus far. And thus far, what's been in CID for this year has been, then we're going to go back into last year a little bit too, has been the Legion Blighted Ogryn theme, and now the Manowar theme is currently in CID as of this recording. Also, previously, right before this, not counting the Christmas one, we had Trollbloods and we had Gatorman. And now we're already kind of seeing Madrak 1 with a Champions Brick as a list that's having a lot of success and showing up at tournaments. We're starting to see Maylock with 4 units of Posse that are armor 20 in melee, and I think they're 22 for a turn because of his feat. I haven't done a lot of research on that one. They have 8 wounds and tough as well. So that list is out there. And then we have Manowar right around the corner, and Shock Troopers are 10. They can be 10 defense, armor 21 in shield wall, armor 23 if they have an armor buff. They have their other units which are still 10. It's like 16 or 17 with 8 wounds, and they're repairable. Their battle engine's decently tanky. They're going to have some solos that are armor 21 with shields. And then the Blighted Ogryn, where we're going to have the Chosen, who are incredibly tanky, as well as the other Ogryn have some tankier options. We'll probably start seeing some Blightbringers coming into the fold and things like that. So with all of that kind of happening, it looks like, and that's not to mention that sort of the CIDs were coming that are other than Crucible Guard, are going to be the Exemplar theme, which contains both of the medium-based units in Protectorate, as well as Tharn are coming, which is for us, but again, we're going to see Ravagers and Blood Pack in that, as well as possibly some new stuff. And then who knows after that. The Mercs Pirates are in there. I don't see that applying here. But all of these things are putting the spotlight on this medium-based infantry, and that means that's going to be something we're going to have to be considering. I bring this up mostly to start the conversation now because I have not perfectly, I'm a little concerned actually about how we're going to approach this. I think I'm going to be able to play into some of those things using Una 2, but they're definitely going to present a new unique challenge. We could also see Scorn at some point enter into this discussion, right? They have a lot of medium-based stuff. So how is that going to impact what Circle does? And that's where we need to be thinking about, because that's going to be sort of the next layer of where the meta may end up going. Actually, Crix is getting some of their medium, there's going to be some Black Ogre and stuff for them too. So these are all things that could be coming, and the reason I bring this up as a separate discussion point is that the way you approach these type of problems is very different, right? We've talked about Warjack spam, and we sort of need like heavies and a certain amount of damage output, and when you start looking into these type of lists, like Khador in particular, can bring a pretty significant number of Warjacks. Even if they bring like 3 or 4 is what I'm saying, or 5, which they can do in a theme, and then bring 2 units of Manowar that are incredibly hard to kill as well, and really present this really difficult defensive brick for you to crack, while also being able to do offense because they're Khador. Legion is going to be able to bring things like the Chosen, and the thing with the Chosen is they don't have a huge like number of attacks or anything. I would say that their damage output sits sort of in the middle ground of like the 3 units that, or 3 bigger units that list can bring. But what they are able to do is you're going to be able to do enough work, especially with anime, who they'll probably be played with that feat and them. They're going to be very difficult to kill, and then they're going to trade up because you're going to have to put a lot of effort into killing them, and then they can get back to you. It's going to be things like that, and Maylock, again, bringing all of those gators. You know, eventually, are they going to be able to chew? And he can cast Revive as well. Are they going to be able to chew through everything you have because you need to put so many attacks into killing them? Heavies are going to be able to have to put a lot of attacks into them. You're going to need things like Synergy, Primal, and so forth to be able to get your lights anywhere near being able to put enough work into it. Our infantry possibly can do it. This might start bringing up Wolds, Skinwalkers, Ravagers. No, I said Wolds. I meant Wolf Riders, Skinwalkers, Ravagers. Even Blood Trackers to a degree, with careful prey selection, might be a thing you want to consider here. Control aspects are going to be important as well, right? But this problem is really unique. When this crops up before, lists like Chromec 1 basically stopped being in existence, and that was because it was incredibly difficult to get enough attacks at a high enough damage to do enough work that you could basically kill enough to not lose the heavy that you sent in reprisal. These are all mitigatable, but it's definitely going to be another one of those things where your list that you're bringing now that you have designed to crack armor, these are new problems that are going to be presented to it. And this may require it to change. This may require you to approach the problem in a different way. And this is meant to be a pretty brief video, but I would prepare and start discussions now, start thinking about it now. But these are the things that are going to be coming. And we will at least see them a little bit, because as CIDs come out and people are excited about new things, you're going to see them. I also think Sorcerer 3 is going to be good enough to see Manowar, and I think that Animag is good enough that we will see, we will certainly see the Ogryn with her, and probably Thagrosh 1. So those things are coming. I don't see Maylock going away. I've continued to see at least 1 or 2 players bringing the 4 posse brick with him, and Madrak 1 is definitely here to stay. That guy is very legitimate. His builds of art can be pretty varied, and his champion's brick is a real pain in the ass. So that's kind of the speculation that I have for you. That I think those things are coming. I don't know what protectorates will look like. This is sort of a similar problem to like cavalry for Circle. The threat range isn't necessarily going to be there for some of these, but like the trading value is. And so you're going to need to be thinking about that. Now, what it may mean is that the squishy center, aka their Warcaster, is the thing you need to look out for. But be thinking about that when you're thinking about like what does this list need to be able to do. So, anyways, that's going to be kind of all. This was just meant to be a quick one. It's kind of a conversation starter, whereas some of the other ones are sort of me sort of answering the conversation. This is going to be the beginning. And I think as we're seeing some of these lists, or if I get a chance to play into them, we'll more specifically talk about how to approach dealing with them. So anyways, as always, thank you for tuning in and watching. Feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any content. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, or really or comments in the video as well are fine. And yeah, thanks for